Hello everyone, welcome to a fresh episode of Big League Soccer. I'm your regular anchor Tunde Koiki, and with me in the studio starting from my immediate right is Kozim Elegbede. Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure. Friend.
James Agberebi also joins us for the first time in a long time. Thank you for joining us, James.
Thank you, guys.
And there's also Julius Ojiagbase. Thank you for joining us as well.
It's a pleasure.
Gentlemen, issues on the ground today, they don't start any bigger than Manchester United. 4 games into the new English season, no wins, 2 bad defeats. And there's plenty of panic and despair around Old Trafford. And I'm wondering, do they have a right to panic at so early in the season? Or should they show a bit more patience with their new coach, Louis van Gaal? Let me start with you, Julius. What do you think?
Well, I think Man United problem didn't just start this season. It started when they changed the manager. And since then, they've been finding a way to put themselves back on track. With the new manager coming in, and of course, we know what he did. He has a different system that he's trying to invite in the players. In my opinion, I think that's one issue. Because even in as much as you don't have in coach, they said they have average players, but if I can still flip back, some of those players, the same player, Sir Alex, used to win the 20th premiership, and for them now say they are so bad they can't perform. But with Louis van Gaal, what I think the problem is that he brought in a new style. He needs players that can understand that style, and not as much as these players are still finding it difficult, particularly in the defense. So when you play 3 defenders, when they are defending, that's the issue. They don't know who to mark who. It's an issue for them, because I watched their game and I just laugh. I said, wow, these guys are going to have a hell of a time trying to adapt to this system. And again, with the fact that you could see some of their main players, if I have to say that, people like Van Persie, Rooney, they are not really up to par. That's what I think is
You said plenty, and I'm sure a lot of people also agree with you. But James, you look at it, Manchester United this way. The driver has gone, the car is still the same, yet the car is not performing the same way. And you're wondering, has the car suddenly become that bad, or maybe they have a bad driver?
To me, I think the Manchester, I like to read into the Liverpool of Paisley era and
Deschamps.
When they left. So I believe it's something similar to that. The team that knows that when it comes to winning, they are there. They've won trophies. So I believe it's kind of a new era for them. It's something that is new to them. Under Ferguson, all they know about is winning.
They have become accustomed to the taste of success.
They're now struggling to beat teams like Burnley, MK Dons. So it's funny to me. I feel like they will come out of it, and I think they should give Louis van Gaal a little bit of time.
What about the issue of players? The same players are still there.
It's surprising because these are the same set of guys that won the league. I think 2 seasons. 2 seasons ago, I think. And for these guys to now be kind of struggling now, I know it's surprising, but I believe that with Van Gaal, the coach has experience, he has seen it or he has won it all. So I believe they will still come back to remind, but it may not be this time. It may take some time.
For them
now depends on whether the fans will have the patience to wait and see that new that United that they used to know. So let us keep our fingers crossed and see how things pan out.
Cousin, what is wrong with playing a 3-5-2 in the English Premier League? The likes of Liverpool have done it before. They used it at certain stages last season with some success. Louis van Gaal also used it to considerable effect and success at the World Cup. So why is it so difficult translating that success to Manchester United?
It will be so difficult in the sense that English League, with all due respect to the rest of the leagues in the world, is the fastest league in the world. It's the league where opponents break down your neck. You are not allowed to control ball.
Some would disagree. Some would say the J League, the Japanese league, is faster.
Excuse me. At least I spoke to Nigerian players who played in the league, and I can start mentioning names, and they told me their first experience of the English league was wow. That even some tackles that they would expect fouls to be given, whoever would just say play on. That is the English league. And when you bring 3 defenders, like Julius rightly said, especially against opponents who are averagely pacey, once they are on the counter, you are exposed.
The basic error I think Van Gaal is committing here is that he's been too dogmatic with that system. The fact that you used it worked with Holland doesn't mean that it's going to work with United.
So if I can jump in, because 3-5-2 can also become a 5-3-2. The two players at the flanks that are wingers can become defenders on the flanks.
You are coming to my point.
Sorry, it is how the player interprets it.
Okay. You're coming to my point. You're coming to my point. You see, in coaching, the little coaching I did, you have to play to the strength of your players. Your formation, whatever, will have to depend on the players you have on ground.
At hand.
Okay? If the players are not comfortable with that system, you have to sacrifice that system for now until you get the players who will fit into that system and who will like Danny Blind has just been signed now. Yes, Marco Rojos, I expect these players will understand it, but I think United's problem even goes beyond that. Because I look at that team, yes, they've signed Falcao, they've signed Di Maria, you have Rojos, like I said, you have Danny Blind, but who is the leader in the central defense? They don't have that yet, and that is very key. The strikers could score 10 goals.
For a team that used to have Jaap Stam, used to have Demanda Vidic,
exactly.
used to have
for a team
Rio
that
Ferdinand.
You're
saying they should have a major figure at the back who's controlling.
Even in a 3-5-2 formation, you need a leader in the defense, central defender who control things, and you need a leader in front of that defense. That's talking about defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
United have not explored.
Okay, Julius, you're going to say something.
Exactly. De Jong is the leader in the defensive midfield. He controls that area, and they have a leader in the central defense.
So I have to ask you, gentlemen.
Of Aston Villa.
I have to ask you, gentlemen. The issue now is, should Manchester United panic? A lot of players, Shinji Kagawa has left. Chicharito is also going to Real Madrid on loan as well. Daniel Welbeck might also go on loan as well. Some of the young midfielders might also be sold as well, or might also go on loan. So the players are leaving, but the ones who are coming in, can they adequately plug the holes in this team? Let me come to Julius. You have something to say about this?
The question is, should they panic?
That is yes.
In my opinion, I think it's the early. I would want to say exercise a little patience because they will have arguments. Some of these players they signed, some of them are injured. They are still waiting for them to come in. So I don't think they should panic now. I just think let the player come in. Let us see what happens. Maybe they play a couple of more games. They'll begin to say, okay, maybe now they should begin to panic. But now, no, it's still early days.
James mentioned something about maybe this might be symptomatic of the same kind of decline that the likes of Liverpool and there are eras, they come and go. Is this the era where Manchester United now feels to be something for a long period of time, where they have to begin to manage their expectations?
I agree with that absolutely. Life itself is era. I mean, talking about the world at large, there used to be some world leaders before USA became the world leader, and they won't. Superpower. They won't be superpowers forever. Their time will come, and it will go. Roman Empire. We've had, so it happens in football as well. I mean, the 70s, the 80s in England, it was Liverpool. Okay, and now 90s to early 20s, it was United. They have to accept the reality. I mean, people keep wondering how come the team that won the league with wide margin 2 seasons ago is struggling now. It's the era thing. Fergie, who did it, is no longer there. And to those who think coaches are not important, I think United, example, would have settled that argument. The main thing that changed last season for United was the coach. They even improved the team, but they couldn't do it.
And speaking of coaches, David Moyes had a better record than so far than
he had a better. I will still rate Van Gaal far ahead of him.
Okay.
Van Gaal is an achiever. His record goes before him. Okay, that is the more reason why United faithful shouldn't panic. Okay, but they have to be realistic. They have to have realistic expectations of this team. If they are thinking of winning the league, it's not going to happen. If they are thinking of getting into the top 4, it might not happen. But if they are thinking of doing something next season, yes, Van Gaal would have had like 2-3 windows to improve the team. I think it could happen. But this season, they should temper their expectations with reality. Okay,
James, a lot of people have said that maybe Sir Alex Ferguson is actually Manchester United's biggest problem. That he left this entire mess for other people to clean up. Do you agree with this?
No, I don't agree. I think Sir Alex has done his own bit. You know, when he came to Man United, I think they were almost in the same position when he came in, and he took them to the highest level ever in football, in the English game. He has done his own bit, so it's now left for them to now, you know, go on and, you know.
But someone arguing that he left. You mean he left his successors with a team that is not up to scratch?
Instead of players that won the league, so for them to now become bad overnight, I mean, I don't.
You disagree?
So you see, if we agree that it's an error thing, if we agree, I think the Man United should just keep their finger crossed and wait, because you see, using the Liverpool until some, Brendan Rodgers came and is changing the fortune again. So if what we have said is we will Man United will be looking forward again. So it might not be Luis Van Gaal. It might not. He might spend his time there and just go.
Impeccable record.
Now another coach might come, because somebody asks you who is Brendan Rodgers. I guess the Liverpool fan will say, hey, this guy from Swansea. But guess what? He's doing the job. So I think at some time we come in again, the Man United.
So you are saying they should wait. So my question is, how long should they honestly wait?
You see today.
Might it take 5 years, 10 years?
Before Ferguson won the league for them again in 1992, they waited 26 years. Okay? Chelsea waited 50 years to win the league.
Exactly.
City probably more than that.
40.
Liverpool is counting 24. This is the 25th year. Of course, it may not be that, because
I hope you know you are scaring Manchester United.
I'm not scaring them. No. I'm saying it might not be that long now, because they are investing. Football today, they have to invest. But it goes beyond just investing, because you have Man City who keep investing, you have Liverpool
Chelsea,
who are investing, you have Chelsea,
Tottenham Hotspur.
So it's not as if these other clubs are folding their hands. No. So United can invest for all they like. It's an era thing. They have to accept the fact that their era is probably over, and they have to go and take their turn.
And interestingly, the team that played them over the weekend, Burnley, in their entire 132-year history, they've spent till today £45 million
total.
Their total transfer fee. Meanwhile, Manchester United paid £59 million for Angel Di Maria, and they're still paying.
Yes. Like we said on this program, they could bring in a Wenger, they could buy all the best players in this world. If we agree it's an era thing, it's not going to change overnight.
Okay.
And that is the reality United fans have to accept. As painful as it is, you got to accept that and bid your time, because the time will come when we don't know. And personally, I don't think it's going to be 20-something years. But it will take some time, because City are not relenting, Chelsea are not relenting, Tottenham are not relenting, Liverpool are not relenting, Arsenal are buying. And these are clubs today who are far ahead of United.
Okay, gentlemen, we'll take a quick break now on this episode of Big League Soccer. We'll be right back with the Champions League review. Welcome back. This is still Big League Soccer. We are now back to the second half of the show, and here we'll be taking a review of the UEFA Champions League draws that were held last week. And interestingly, gentlemen, we haven't had time to look at this, but let us take it group after group. Group A has Atletico Madrid, Juventus, Olympiacos, and Malmo of Sweden. Let me start with you, Julius. In your opinion, who are the top picks in this group, and who are the Europa Cup contenders?
Obvious, Atletico, Juventus.
Olympiacos, Malmo, you don't feel they have any kind of chance in this group?
It will be surprising if they come anywhere near second position. But I think Juventus and Atletico are favourites to go.
James, Group B has Real Madrid, the 10-time winners and defending champions, FC Basel of Switzerland, Liverpool, 5-time winners making a return to the Champions League after a 5-year absence, and Ludogorets Razgrad of Bulgaria in this group as well.
Yeah, I'll go for Real Madrid and
Liverpool.
For Europa slot, I'll go for Basel.
FC Basel. But Liverpool, don't you think that maybe their long absence might tell that maybe they do not have the hang of the competition as they used to? They haven't played European football in a while.
Yeah, fine. The one thing about Liverpool, they're a traditional team when it comes to the Champions League. Fine, they've
won it 5 times.
Yeah, they've won it 5 times. They've not won the league for the EPL for 25 years now. But when it comes to Champions, teams that have that tradition, it always show. Fine, they've been away for a very long time. I believe they will qualify with Real Madrid.
And interestingly, Kazim, last time Liverpool faced Real Madrid in the UEFA Champions League, then they did a home and away, then they did a 5-0 aggregate win, 4-0 at Anfield. 1-0 was Santiago Bernabeu.
And then 4-0 at Anfield.
Do you see that happening again this time around?
While I don't see it happening, but I think Real Madrid have a problem because they've dismantled that team. That could be another topic, a topic for another day because, I mean, Florentino Perez has succeeded in dismantling. We saw what they did on Sunday from 2-0 up to lose 4-2 against Sociedad. I mean, it says everything. The problem I see there is the defensive midfielder. There was none.
They're a bit too top heavy. They've bought too many attacking players, too little emphasis on defensive players.
Has succeeded in that's what he did in his first stint. He brought the Galacticos, they won so many trophies. Then he started decimating the team, and the team started struggling. I see that happening to them, and it will be interesting because if Liverpool should take their chances and top that group, it means Real Madrid will come second and face one of the big teams in the knockout stage of the Champions League.
It's still early days yet. Still early days. Let's see how that pans out when the competition proper itself kicks off. But Group C, still with you, Kazim, has Benfica of Portugal, Zenit St. Petersburg of Russia, Bayer Leverkusen of Germany, and Monaco of France. Interestingly, Monaco have sold their biggest, most potent weapon to a team that will not even be taking place in European football.
They put him on loan.
I beg your pardon. They put him on loan. He will not be a factor.
On a sabbatical.
He will not be a factor in the Champions League or for Monaco. And they're expected to compete in this group that has, Portugal's Benfica, Zenit St. Petersburg, and Bayer Leverkusen.
You see, for me, this is about the most balanced group of the lot, where you cannot readily pick out favorites.
A clear winner.
Yes, but I look at Benfica because they nearly won the Europa League last season. They lost in the finals. In fact, the last two editions of Europa League, they lost in the finals. So I want to give them respect.
But at least they are much talked about curse of not winning a European.
So I think they should qualify from this group. And when you look at Zenit too, Zenit have history. Okay, they've been consistent in the Champions League. And then Leverkusen, yes, this season they've done extremely well. I saw all their qualifiers and they are leading the Bundesliga as we speak. So you can't write them off. And then again, we look at Monaco with all the big names. So who goes out here? I'm going for Benfica to qualify from this group, plus anyone of Zenit and Leverkusen.
Pick one.
I don't think Monaco will make it.
Pick one.
If I have to pick one, I might be forced to go with Zenit St. Petersburg because, I mean, AVB is proving himself again. He's the coach and Zenit have been doing so well. So I will go for Benfica and the Zenit. But it's going to be a close call. Leverkusen could peep Monaco to the Europa League slot.
Okay, let's go to Group D, Julius. This is a group that you have particular interest in. Arsenal of England will be facing Borussia Dortmund for the second consecutive season. Galatasaray of Turkey, they also have former Italian national team coach Cesare Prandelli at the helm, and Anderlecht of Belgium.
Obviously, Arsenal should be top.
Obviously, Arsenal should be top.
Yes, should be top.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Dortmund should be second. But I'll put a but. The but will be, we've seen Arsenal in such group. One problem Arsenal is not to qualify from group stages. We've seen that over and over in time. They don't have a problem qualifying. It's the spots they occupy when they qualify. Exactly. I've seen Arsenal where they should be top. Where games that is likely to be top, so they can play a lesser team.
Okay. So you are saying they will qualify, but you're not sure whether they'll finish first or second.
But qualifying is not the issue. Arsenal will go through that. I'll be surprised if they don't. But I think has mastered the act of going to the second round. So I think they will qualify.
James, Bayern Munich of Germany, Manchester City of England, both of them meet again. I think is this the second consecutive season?
Second consecutive season.
And CSKA Moscow of Russia and AS Roma of Italy.
Yeah, my pick for this group E will be Bayern Munich, and the second spot. Will
it's tough, actually.
Yeah, it's somehow tough. Man City is the AS Roma. I can't just rule out.
Some have said that probably this is the group of death.
Yes, I want to agree with that. I think I will go with Man City to qualify from the group alongside
Bayern Munich. It seems very clear that in that order. Okay, let's see. Group F has Barcelona of Spain, who are now finding a new lease of life under their new coach, Luis Enrique. Paris Saint-Germain of France, who also have Zlatan Ibrahimovic back in action. He scored a hat-trick yesterday. Ajax of Netherlands and Apoel Nicosia of Cyprus.
I'll go with I'll go for Barcelona and PSG, obviously, and probably I had to come third and go for Europa League.
But it's so funny how a lot of people seem to write off Ajax at this level of football now. I mean, they were former champions, one of the former European greats, but they never seem to figure very strongly.
The argument earlier on this program is that we have to accept the era theory because it holds true. I mean, during the Van Gaal's reign at Ajax, they were ruling Europe as well as the Dutch league. Okay, I mean, but
they had some of the most sought after players in the world.
Youthful team.
Yeah,
they ruled Europe and the Dutch league, but since then they've been finding their way, and it's tough.
And someone said maybe because Ajax is a selling club, they tend to sell their best players.
That has been the tradition
after
from
season.
what go.
And apart from that,
they develop players and sell them.
And apart from that, if you look at them, what they have done is what they are still doing. But the difference is, I think at one time we have Kanu playing there. They bring in players from a lot of players to come and play with their players. Then they sell. But right now, I think they are looking indeed. They are just staying home and they're grooming. Yes, that's what I think. It could be a little problem now. They don't bring in quality players like other clubs.
The reality I think
that has changed.
Football world has become highly monetized. If you can't spend, you can't meet up, and that is one of the problems. Ajax.
So players are moving at a much younger age than they used to.
That's
17, 18.
Then you're going to be competing against teams who
have deeper pockets,
hundreds of millions on players.
So why don't you improve your scouting? Get these players younger at a much cheaper rate.
I think one of the reasons why they are still one of the top teams in the Eredivisie is because of the standard of the league.
Yeah, the standard is low.
Anytime they go out to maybe Champions League, find it very difficult.
But that league still produces the likes of Luis Suarez. That league still produces the likes of Marco van Basten. That league still produces the likes of Fred Boni, who is currently playing at Swansea. So there is still some quality within the league. Anyway,
it's like saying a school is poor and you now pick a couple of students who did brilliant well. The fact that you have a couple of students who did so well in an exam doesn't make that school strong. You have to look at the overall performance of the students. Okay. And when you look at the overall performance of the players in the Eredivisie, how many of them will you want in your team?
Just remember that this same Dutch team, players from the Dutch team in the Dutch league played in the Dutch team who finished fourth at the World Cup. A good number of them. Let's move on. Let's move on, gentlemen. Let's move on. Group G has Chelsea of England, Schalke of Germany, Sporting Lisbon of Portugal, and Maribor of Slovenia. And some people have said this will be a stroll that Chelsea can probably go through this group walking backwards.
Absolutely.
Chelsea made Schalke second consecutive season.
Absolutely.
Because last season they qualified ahead of Schalke, even though Barcelona defeated them home and away. They took the pound off Schalke. And the Schalke have not done so well for me this season. So I will be looking at Chelsea and Sporting Lisbon.
They are very lucky
in well, it's luck, but yes. I will look at Chelsea and Sporting Lisbon qualifying. Unless Sporting Lisbon mess up. If they don't mess up, if they play to their potentials, I mean, I think they should qualify with Chelsea.
Okay. I think Schalke, I will choose Schalke and Chelsea.
Schalke and Chelsea for Julius. Meanwhile, it's Chelsea and Sporting Lisbon for Kozim. James, you have a contrary opinion?
No, Chelsea, Schalke.
Nobody's picking Maribor. Anyway, Group H has Porto, FC Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk of Ukraine, Athletic Bilbao, who surprisingly eliminated Napoli of Italy, and Bate Borisov of Belarus.
Yeah, this is another group that is very close. I mean, the difference between the opponents. Yes, it's very close. Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk. Don't forget, Shakhtar Donetsk, they are veterans now in Champions League. They've always qualified. They won the Europa League not so long ago. So you have to give them respect. And Porto, but not the first, they used
but cousin.
That's why I would choose Shakhtar.
Gentlemen. Schalke are also not playing at home in their Donbass arena because of problems in eastern Ukraine, which might be a problem for them. They're not playing at the Donbass arena. So,
Athletic, but I'm not too convinced about Athletic Bilbao. I know I saw their games against Napoli, but I think that Napoli was very poor, which is why they qualified.
But they've been doing very well in the opening games of the Spanish La Liga.
Yes,
2 consecutive wins.
For the fact that Shakhtar will be playing their home games away from home, I would have gone for Porto, Shakhtar, but now I will have to go with Porto, Athletic Bilbao.
James?
Yeah, the same thing with me.
Porto, Athletic Bilbao. Julius?
I think I will go with Shakhtar and Atletico.
Shakhtar and Athletic Bilbao. You don't think Porto is going through? Why?
Well, I don't know. Something somewhere just tell
that
me.
Porto team is good.
Well, something somewhere just tell me they won't go through because Atletico. Well, Kazim said he watched them, but you see that team has a fire. Okay, with the way they qualified, and if you watch them play in the league, they're already showing promise.
Interesting game. They stifled Napoli away from home, and they also beat them decisively, coming down from a goal down to win 3-1.
Porto defeated Lille home and away. I mean, and I saw the two games. I mean, because
it's Lille. Come on.
Lille with Enyama, who could have been the best goalkeeper in Europe last season.
Okay.
And with Divock
Origi. Your position, Napoli, Lille, what do you think is stronger?
On paper, you want to say Napoli, but looking at the way even Lille played, they weren't so bad. But the way Porto dealt with them, I was really, really impressed. And that is why I will always go for Porto in this group.
Okay, gentlemen, we've had our Champions League review. Final words from you two gentlemen, from all three gentlemen. Nigeria will be playing a Nations Cup qualifier, I beg your pardon, against Congo, regrouping for the Super Eagles. The defending champions of the African Nations Cup have now have a chance to defend their trophy. Any thoughts on that game, gentlemen?
Do we have a coach yet?
We have an interim coach. We have an interim coach. We have an interim coach. Final words. Don't go into too much.
As a Nigerian, I want Nigeria to qualify. But as a football fan, I want Nigeria to be shocked and fail to qualify for the Nations Cup because we have demonstrated ourselves as an unserious nation, which is very, very unfortunate.
Unfortunate, but very true words from Kozim Ilegbede in quotes. James?
Yeah, Nigeria, Congo.
Some new call-ups: Osagono Igodaro of Rangers. A few interesting names on that list. Some of the players who had the World Cup
called up by whom?
Well, we're not sure. We hear it's Stephen Keshi. Let's believe it's Stephen Keshi.
I think the Super Eagles will win, but it might not be a convincing victory because the only advantage we have that we will have is because we are playing at home. You know, the Calabar Stadium. We might put the fans under some serious pressure, but at the end of the day, they will come out with a scrappy win.
Julius, the last time Nigeria played Congo in Nigeria was at the National Stadium at the Nigeria-Ghana 2000 Nations Cup, where the team was comprehensively stoned after that game. And
it was a draw.
It was a draw. It ended in a goalless draw. And Nigeria were outplayed by the Congolese team. A repeat of that game?
Do I have to say anything about
Please do.
Because, to be honest, like Mr. Kozim said, I don't really want to talk about Nigeria football right now because of the things that is going on.
Let's talk about the football on the pitch.
If I have to say, every time Nigeria plays, I want Nigeria to win. Every time.
Okay.
You know, so again, I would say Nigeria will win because every time I want them to win.
Thank you for being patriotic, and thank you for watching this episode of Big League Soccer. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to send in your comments. Send them as many times as you can. Tell your friends to subscribe to the Complete Sports YouTube channel. My name is Sunday Koiki. This has been Big League Soccer. Join us for a fresh episode on the same channel. So,
Who are they buying?
I would love us to at least a little bit the history of the clubs, particularly the Chelsea. Chelsea have really transformed in terms of the way they play.
Thank you, sir.
Julius,
I am not.
I will tell you why.
It's not. I don't see that as news.
Mr. Remy, you know why I'm concerned for United and why I'm saying they won't make the top 4 this season. You know why? They have started dropping points against teams they were expected. Hello, out of 9 points, they got 2. Is it when they now meet Liverpool, Man City, and Tottenham that they want to win matches? You can't beat. Forget that one. They might win against 1 or 2 of them, not against all of them. Who are the teams Chelsea have played so far? Only Everton. Burnley, wait now. Look, I tell you, Liverpool are in a better position than Chelsea the way we are. Forget about the league table. I'll tell you why. They've played Man City, they've played Tottenham away. And they got 3 points. That's what they got last season. Wait now, Southampton that defeated us at home last season, we defeated. They already had 3 points more than they had last season. Chelsea have not added to what they had last season.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Everton was 3 points.
No, we had
3 points gained.
Liverpool had 9 points in their first 3 games.
Not first 3 games. In these fixtures last season.
Okay. So
Chelsea not
but this time last season, Liverpool had more
top.
points than they had.
That is a self-deluding analysis. Yeah. I'm telling you, because the fixture is different. So the real thing you can talk about is when we faced Swansea last season, what was the result? When we faced Man City last season, what was the result? That is more realistic than saying after 3 games, Liverpool had 9 points last season, today they have 6 points, and then you say they have not tried. Against which teams?
Stoke City won City.
Yeah, that was a surprise. But that doesn't mean it's going to happen next week.
No.
If they replay that match, it's not going to happen.
Why I said that is this. You played in City, and you're taking apart.
Yes.
So, for me, when I saw that game,
I just consider taking apart when you bet. It's true. The first 45 minutes, City were nowhere. Wow. It took one error to change that match.
ẹ jẹ́ àṣẹ sẹ́kọ̀ọ́ afẹ́dá kò omi tí ṣe expose planet tán.
No, taba first talking is the analysis because people are saying Chelsea. Look, I look at the teams they played. It's only Everton, and like I told you, Everton this is the point. So I don't even reckon their results.
Chelsea gone. Chelsea gone.
Then you don't mean till respect him say.
It's just 3 games.
One play in after international, and you know Shara.
They will win.
Okay, Man City,
but Chelsea will win Arsenal.
Oh yeah.
We don't have a striker.
Oh yeah.
Sanogo.
Oh yeah.
Problem, then you.
Oga. Oh yeah. 3, 2, 1, action.